Hello guys, how are you? A very good morning to all of you. From this side, Kapil Gupta taking this shot from La Paz, Bolivia. So today's news is about devastating earthquake strike Venezuela. So a major humanitarian crisis is unfolding in Venezuela after twin powerful earthquakes devastated the northern coast on June 24. The 7.2 and 7.5 magnitude earthquakes struck just 39 seconds apart near Maracay in Caracas, which is triggering over 600 aftershocks, including a fresh 4.8 tremor on June 27. So the death toll has climbed past 1700, with thousands more injured and tens of thousands missing or displaced. Hospitals are overwhelmed, and the smell of death lingers in ruined streets as rescuers use bare hands and basic tools amid slow government aid. So you see, the hygienic conditions are poor. It is, maybe the cause of an outbreak of a pandemic, because many viruses can adapt to these unhygienic conditions, because if you don't take proper measures, hygienic measures, it will lead to a possible proximate outbreak of a disease. So miraculous survival continue, but criticism mounts over the response, with many accusing authorities of negligence. International teams, including from the US and India, have joined rescues, and Starlink is helping restore communications. Now, oil prices and global shipping remains on edge due to regional instability, but the focus now is on survivors facing a long recovery, because, as you see, hospital infrastructure is collapsed. So we have to, make temporary centers for treating the injured, suffered people who have suffered from this, earthquake. So we have to create temporary centers where we can operate, where we can, treat our patients. So this is the immediate response we should take. Now, this doublet earthquake event is geologically notable because the near simultaneously quakes amplified damage in a seismically active zone along the Caribbean South American plate boundary. The high casualty figures stem from poor building standards in densely populated areas like Caracas and La Guaira, combined with Venezuela's ongoing economic and political challenges, which have hampered preparedness and response. Now, humanitarian toll: over 46,000 reported missing in some estimates. Widespread infrastructure collapse exacerbates a pre existing crisis. Many deportees from the US were among the victims shortly after arrival. Now, what are the response gaps? Anger at government delays contrasts with international aid efforts. This highlights vulnerability in under resourced nations during natural disaster. Now, regional and global ripple effect. So, we see how it impacts regional in Latin America, Central America, and how it impacts, globally around the globe, around the world. So, potential for disease outbreak. That's what I'm saying earlier in this video. Food shortages. It is the most prominent impact that kids, women's, and the retired people, they are gonna suffer too much because of this. And migration waves, it also distracts from other geopolitical tensions, for example in the Middle East, while underscoring the need for better early warning and resilient infrastructure worldwide. I have also added a clip in this video so that you can in being informed the actual proceedings at the site in Venezuela. So thanks a lot for your kind attention. Love you all.
Now to the deadly earthquakes in Venezuela. New drone video this afternoon shows the scale of destruction after two earthquakes hit last week. Dozens of buildings were leveled, and an entire coastal city is now filled with piles of rubble. More than 1,400 people are now confirmed dead, and tens of thousands are missing. CBS News Miami's Camila Montoya Galvez has the latest from Venezuela.
We saw scenes of utter devastation in hard-hit La Guaira after two deadly earthquakes struck Venezuela last week. In the rubble, you could see remnants of people's lives. Stuffed animals, a passport, and a kindergarten graduation diploma. Tens of thousands of Venezuelans are still presumed to be missing, and the clock is ticking. You're seeing scores of people and rescue workers from across the globe desperately looking for any signs of life. Some even digging with their bare hands. In Caracas, outside of a hospital, we saw loved ones scouring lists of patients, looking for any missing relatives. Genesis Fonseca was there bringing soup to her 6-year-old nephew, Maximiliano, who survived the quakes, while his mother did not. What is it that you will miss the most about your sister?
Hay todo. Su cariño, el amor que nos teníamos.
Everything. The love we had for one another, she told us. Amid the tragedy, moments of hope. Like this one, a man pulled out alive by rescue teams. And an infant trapped for days, also found alive. On Saturday, Kayla Serpa's nephew Kenger was also rescued. Serpa told us her 2 nephews and sister lived in a building that came crashing down. 11-year-old Kenger was the sole survivor. Serpa had a message for the U.S. We need more support, she says. More help. U.S. diplomat John Barrett says there are over 300 American rescuers on the ground.
We were with Venezuela before the earthquake, and we're even closer to Venezuela after the earthquake.
The pain and loss we have seen here in La Guaira is impossible to quantify. We've heard from people who've lost their homes, their children, their spouses, and their siblings. But there are still signs of hope. Just this morning, in this destroyed building behind us, volunteers heard the cries of a woman, and they're now trying to see if they can rescue her alive. Camilo Montoya Galvez, CBS News, La Guaira, Venezuela.